Hey there, friends. So over the last 20 years, I've been working on some ideas on how together we can help create a lasting peace. But I feel like we must act right now. Now, I know that the idea of world peace is overwhelming, especially when you try to visualize it. But if you think of it in terms of community peace, neighborhood peace, then it becomes a lot more manageable and you kind of wrap your head around it. And so I think there's a great opportunity for us to all unite towards some common goals. Now, when I got into Montessori schools, I got into them because of their peace work, because they were pacifists, because they believed in world peace, and they were trying to build schools all over the world where they could work on peace together. And I felt like this is the perfect community to try to create a movement of activists united around peace. And I've been working for years and years to develop those relationships and to come up with a plan. And this is sort of the culmination of that work. And I feel like with the state of the world right now, we need peace more than anything. And so I felt like it is time to sort of share sort of this greater vision that I have. Now, we're all part of communities, our churches, our schools, our neighborhoods, our workplaces are all communities that we are part of. And we all have a voice in those communities where we can influence the decisions that the community makes. Now, if enough communities work and participate in peace within their communities, their small manageable communities, then it will spread around the world. So imagine your little space, your little community, your school, your neighborhood, creating peace within it, and your neighbors working on that, and the cities, towns near you working on that, and together, then we can create this greater world peace in time. And the more of us that act and the more time we commit to that, the quicker this spreads and the farther it reaches. Now, our team has been working on this, and we created some suggestions and some ideas and some things that you can do that we call a path to peace. And that we looked at this in terms of Dr. Montessori's work called The Fundamental Needs of Humans. And it basically discusses on how all humans all over the world have basically the same fundamental human needs. We just get those needs in different ways. A person in Africa versus a person in Asia versus a person in North America. Excuse me. How we get our food, how we get our shelter, how we have our transportation. We all need those things. We just get them in different ways. And so I looked at the needs of humans and those being obstacles to peace. If you don't have your needs met, you can't have peace. You can't wish peace for someone else because you're struggling and suffering. And so if we in our communities look at the fundamental human needs, look at how we can achieve those needs for the mass of people who we are within our walls, within our community, then we can start to create actual, real, lasting peace. And so then if we're not thinking about world peace, this huge idea that's really scary, but we're thinking about how do we make peaceful communities, then we can do something that is manageable and achievable and possible. You know, for years I've been overwhelmed by this idea of how this goal for world peace, and it's overwhelming. It's so big. And so I've been trying to break it down and think about it in ways that are manageable and that you can talk to people about it. So now maybe your community has time to work on one of these right now. Maybe you create groups and committees and you prioritize which things should be done first, and depending on the needs of your community, and you tackle these things as individual little groups. Whatever it is, our goal was just to break this down into manageable parts that you can think about, and we gave some resources, definitely not a comprehensive list of everything out there. There's so much other great resources out there for your community to look at how to meet your needs in your own individual unique ways. So this is not meant to be prescriptive for you. And we are still working on this. We had a lot more plans with it, but because the world is sort of spiraling out of control right now, we feel like action needs to be taken immediately. We wanted to give this out right now, and it's a little raw. You know, it's not finished. We thought we had time before the collapse of the world, but as you can see, things are getting a little crazy. So the most important thing for you all is that this is a call to action. This is just not to invoke some feelings in you and for you to think about things. Like, it is the time to act. If there was ever a time to act in our lifetime, it's today. It's right now. Because I fear that people are manipulating those who are addicted to media and who are suffering and are in a fury and a rage to act in terrible ways that could harm our family, our friends, our loved ones, ourselves, and our way of life is in danger. And I think united, we can do amazing things. We can really change things. And my path was to create something with all the Montessori schools in the world, and we're going to do this great thing together. But I think actually this is greater than just Montessorians. We are connected, and we all are peace activists, and we all have some common language we can use, which is great. But this video is actually just for everybody, for anybody who is tired of the fighting and thinks that there's a better way forward in peace, in love, in collaboration, and cooperation, and sustainability, and wants this to end. We just need to reach out to our neighbors, reach out to the people around us, especially those who are angry, and calm them down and remind them, we are not the enemy. We are here with you. We want to collaborate and create community that your needs are met, just as my needs are met, and that we're going to have some sharing going on, and some of our resources are going to be pooled together to help people, and that's okay, because you're going to get help, and your family's going to get help, and your friends are going to get help, and your neighbors are going to get help, and we're going to help everybody. It doesn't matter what your political persuasion is or your color is or anything, that in fact, you'll get your needs met. And that is the world that we need right now. We are in the middle of a pandemic, and a financial collapse is looking potential. You hear a lot of mumblings about it. So it is the great time for people of peace, people of compassion, people of love to stand up and to do right and to make a path forward for a better world. This is a suggestion. We all have lots of suggestions and ways to make this, refine this, make it better, work together. But this is a start. We hope that it's helpful. And I think together we can create the resources that our community needs to be at peace. And we can stop fighting with each other for once. And I think that would be great. Now, remember, we don't have to do everything right away. Just do what you can. Don't overwhelm yourself. That's not the objective, is to stress you out more. It's to motivate you to maybe reprioritize, to remove some things from your life that aren't essential right now, and focus on the things that are important right now, like maybe some less escaping into video games and watching things, and maybe just a couple of days of like intense action for peace. So that's what I'm going to do. I hope that you do that. I hope that you consider that. And remember, if you use the pay it forward technique, where you share with 3 people and you convince them to share with 3 people and convince them to share with 3 people, that very quickly large numbers of people will share the path to peace, and they'll share working together to help each other and to not alienate each other, and not make each other feel bad, and not fight with each other, not hate each other anymore, but instead to love and collaborate and work together and create something that works for the majority of us. That is the goal. Peace for all, justice for all, no more fighting, no more wars, and no civil war right now. So peace to you all. I love you. Thank you for taking the time to listen to this. I know that people are busy. I'm attaching the resources to my Facebook post, and I'll put it on the YouTube videos, and I try to make this as available as possible. I'm doing everything I can to get it out to the world, and thank you so much for your support and your time. Peace to you and to yours.